I'm Richard Cartwright and welcome to my channel. Question I get asked a lot up here is, how do I start my golf swing? How on earth do people start their golf swings? What's the right way? What's the wrong way? And if I'm honest with you, the answer to that question is, well, again, I'm going to sit on the fence a little bit here and say there's no one way. We've all got our own little triggers with which to start the swing. How do we get it moving? So it's difficult to go from sort of 0 to 60 in half a second's worth of action. It's very, very difficult. I mean, we've all got our own different ways. You look on the elite players, for example. Great example is, again, Matt Wolff, who really just starts his swing with that hip turn. That's just how he starts his golf swing. That left hip getting out the way. And that's just a sort of rehearsal that he's done since I think he was 13, 14 years old with his coach, just trying to get his left hip out the way, and it's just stuck with him. He doesn't think about it. It's really interesting how a lot of people look at him for the first time and go, oh my God, what's going on there? It just looks really weird. I suppose it doesn't look the aesthetic way, it doesn't look as the textbooks way would do it. But it works for him. A couple of times winner on the PGA Tour as well, runner-up in the US Open as well. So again, it's whatever works. Gary Player, another great one. His left knee kicked into the golf ball. His left knee kicked in towards the golf ball in his right leg to get his swing going. Is that right or wrong? Multiple major winner right there. At the weekend, Viktor Hovland finished second. After winning quite a few events. I think he's won, was it twice in his last 6 events, something like that. Since then, to start his swing off with his right knee kicking a little bit towards the ball. There's no real right way of doing it. There is, however, one wrong way of doing it, which I'll be discussing with you today. So we need to make sure, yes, we're not absolutely bolt still before we swing the golf club. That for me is a big no-no to get the swing going. Because we want to move the fast twitch fibers pretty quick. Okay, so that's why a lot of people, again, Greg Norman, the great shark, the Australian shark, what he tended to do was hover the club above the ground and just sort of waggle the club a little bit. That's why you see a lot of club wagglers out there as well, just getting that club, getting those wrists moving a little bit so they're not absolutely dead still. So what I don't want you guys out there to do is stand over the golf ball and just stay still. We don't want to do that. We don't want to just absolutely completely stay still and then go as fast as we can on the way back. Okay, if anything, we just want to move the golf club a little bit, even if it just means that club hovering above, even if it just means we're just adjusting our left knee towards the golf ball, even if it just means it's a little waggle with the wrists on the way back. We're only talking tiny, tiny, tiny movements here, but it's just something to get that body moving. It's just something to get that club moving. More importantly, as I say, it's to get that body moving so we're not absolutely dead stationary of the golf ball before we hit the golf ball, okay, before we take the golf swing. We need to make sure we're over the golf ball and there's a little bit of movement, there's a little bit of a waggle, just trying to get those muscles going. Because it's so easy in a game like golf, no other sports necessarily like it. We're always moving around. Look at tennis players, even if they're not serving, they're still trying to maneuver around. They're still waiting for that service to come at them. Okay, they're still moving, and then they jump and then they go for the serve that's come to them. Okay, they don't just stand still and then go like that out to meet the serve. No, they're always forever moving. It's the same in golf, but slightly different. Different in the way, in the fact the ball's not moving, but we're still ready to hit a golf ball. Okay, we're still going to get those muscles maneuvering to really just get up to that golf ball and be as ready as we can, so our muscles are aware, our muscles are awake, as it were. So we need to make sure those muscles are awake and not just completely asleep before we hit the golf ball. So however you do it, whether it be a Matt Wolff, whether it be a Viktor Hovland, whether it be a Gary Player, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But what I don't want you to do is stand absolutely stationary on top of that golf ball for X amount of time. One, you're going to slow up play, but two, you're not going to do yourselves any favours in your golf swing to make your golf swing as smooth as possible. It's going to be completely the opposite. You're going to make that golf swing very quick, very jerky, and we're going to be fairly unsuccessful. Guys or girls out there in golf land, stay stationary over the ball and play to a good level. Please correct me. But I've never known many successful golfers stand over the golf ball and stand absolutely dead still to it. Move around, just waggle that golf club, get those feet moving, get those knees moving. And we're only talking a little bit, we're only talking a fraction of a movement, but just get those muscles moving. Hope this helps, hope this makes sense. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button for me, please.